Judah, that's all you need to know na gusto ka niya.
Hindi, tama din sinabi ni Judah.
Oo, pero pinipilit niyang mag-out. Pwedeng pan, pwedeng bi.
Yeah, pero tama din naman na
Pag-usapan natin din.
mamaya.
Oo. Anyway, we are the BL Bros coming to you straight from Quezon City, LA, and
BGC and LA.
Yes, this is Carl.
I'm JC.
Sid.
And now we are going to
Cheers.
watch the much-awaited Quaranthings episode 7.
The penultimate episode.
Hindi ko alam kung
Entitled.
emotionally prepared ako. Feeling ko iiyak ako.
Rapid test kit. Tingin mo kung ano ang resulta, positive or negative.
Yun na nga.
Yun ang question.
Sana naman negative, di ba?
Pero
Negative yung result, pero sana positive yung outcome.
Yung feeling, yung outcome.
Quick recap, naabutan ni handa na si Rocky, pero naabutan niya si Juju na kahalikan.
At si Glenn.
Yes.
Hindi yata sinama yung halikan, parang ano yun, that was supposed to be the cut.
Pero you parang kind of had an idea na rin.
Yeah.
Yung the way they're too close to each other.
The blocking and then
Unless gano'n ka makipag-usap sa mga tao, JC.
Huh?
Siya, let's count. 30 minutes ang episode
Let's
natin.
do this.
Okay.
Okay.
Or after game.
Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, game.
Yan na.
Damn, I missed you.
Wow.
Ang glisero.
Kaya lang nag-message ka. So validating to see you.
Rocky!
Ang handa ng si Rocky, hindi siya handa sa nakita niya.
Rocky the Ready. Boom. Yun na.
Hindi ako nagbigay ng visual cue. Nagbababa siya ng mask. Black.
Oo.
Episode 1,
Yes.
Rapid Test Kit, na
Episode
magkaalaman
7.
na.
I love
7
it.
pa na yun. Na magkaalaman na. I love the salad.
Wow, salad.
Jack crave.
That's not meat, by the way. I don't eat meat na kasi it's just organic greens with faux mayonnaise.
Oh my God.
And look at this one. It's not even real cheese. Can you believe it?
This one?
Yeah, solid.
Nakita mo yun, extremes, Rocky and Glenn.
Oo. Complete
Get your
opposite,
chips
no?
na. You should eat healthy.
Ditch your chips na. You should eat
Go
healthy. Oh my God. Pescatarian, so may fish ka.
Rocky, you saying something? Kumain ka na.
Ini-eliminate nila si Rocky.
Ayos lang ako.
Kuha ka dito, bro. I cooked it, so it's yum. Like me. Like baby Juju.
Hindi ako milig sa
Salad, ito
pesca-pescatarian.
yung mini cooked it. Chagot.
Hindi
Pesto,
masasama yung
pesto.
noodles. Kumuha ka dito ng salad, oh.
Ang salad, matamis. Ang Noche Buena, hindi ganyan.
Fruit
Okay
salad.
lang ako.
Fruit salad!
Kahit hindi masustansya,
Fruit salad!
ang puno ng alaala. Diba, Judah?
Kahit hindi masustansya, punong-puno na alaala.
Oh.
Wala.
Wala, na-miss natin yung
Nasaan na
sinabi.
yung kasama mo?
Ako hindi. Hindi ko alam kung subtitles.
Magbantayan ka.
Ayan na,
May
si
halos
Lol.
ako maloka sa panik na malaman ko may ubo at lagnat ka. Teka, siya na ba yun? Apa, mukha naman siya mabait. Salamat ha, binantayan mo ang aking Juda.
Hindi po. Ako po yun. Hi, Lola. Rocky po.
Menage.
Wait, 2 boys. Juda, what's happening, ha?
Save your
Lover.
judgment some other day.
I'm not judging anybody. Nagtatanong lang ko. Kasi hindi ko naman alam kung sino kasama mo.
Lolly, don't worry, okay? I'm taking care of him. May in-order na din po
Whatever.
ako ng test kits for COVID. And I think it will be delivered within the day since may connections naman si Dad sa government. And also, I'm in contact with some doctors na din, so they will monitor Judah via online consultations.
Ang gwapo ng boses niya,
Also,
my God.
I'll have her may drop by na din later to,
I'll have... Oh my God.
Oh my God, Carl, bagay kayo ni Glenn.
I know, right?
Anyway, don't worry, Lolly, okay? I have it all
I
covered
know.
po for our Judah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our Juda?
Our Judah.
You like my apo.
What do you mean po?
Matanda na ako.
Oh my God.
Alam ko pag nagmamahal ang isang tao, base sa kanyang boses at ningning ng mata.
Salamat
Thanks,
po.
Lolly.
Kawawa naman si Rocky.
Juda, I'm sorry uli. Hindi ko sinasadya ang lahat ng mga sinabi ko. Hindi ko kakayanin na may bakla uli sa buhay ko. I was shocked.
May bakla ulit.
What do you mean,
His
Lolly?
dad? His dad?
Yung lolo, 3 years before he died, hiniwalay niya ako. Hindi rin niya mapapatawad ang sarili niya without experiencing the kind of love he'd always wanted.
Oh my God.
Ang pagmamahal ng isang lalaki. So wala
Oh my
akong
God.
magawa. I love
Oh my
him.
God.
Lolly, OMG, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
When he died, he was alone. He was living in an apartment in Paris.
In Paris.
Room
Wow.
was overlooking a gay bar.
Oh my
According to
God.
his neighbor, your lolo daw would always stare at the gay bar from his balcony gabi-gabi,
Wow.
but never had the courage to enter. He's just
Oh
Sa
my
may
God.
Pompidou ba
watching
yan?
all versions of his unlived life.
Unlived life.
So from
Oh.
that, I was convinced people like you will never, never be loved.
Wow.
Kaya I wanted to change you. And I think I should.
I have so many things to say about that.
Stop crying na. Yung BP mo.
No. Hindi ko mapapatawad ang sarili ko kapag hindi ko nailabas ang lahat ng ito.
Quaranthings.
Hello, Jay.
Nako, Carl, this is your episode.
What's up? Okay na kayo ni
Alam mo si Mama.
Oh my God! Ay!
I will confess something.
LJ!
Remember when I told you not to get Judah? Well, my plan was to send him to a conversion retreat. Wala. Desperado na ako noon.
Oh my gosh, Mom! Why would you do that? Juju, anak, I'm so sorry. I had no idea.
Oh, no! Ako ang dapat mag-sorry sa inyong lahat. Kasalanan ko ito. Kaya lahat ng paraan ginagawa ko, guluhin ang buhay niyo. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, naapektuhan ako kay Gina
Patawarin
Pareño.
niyo ako, please. Ayokong tumanda na nag-iisa. Natatakot ako.
Naiyak.
Ang duwag-duwag ko. Ang hina. Please, patawarin niyo ako, please. I'm sorry. Magmula ngayon, babaguhin ko na lahat, Judah. Suportado ko ang happiness mo. Kung sino man sa dalawang yan ang mamahalin mo, buong puso kong tatanggapin. Kasi, yun ang deserve mo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Gina Pareño.
Oo nga. Fairness
Napektuhan ako.
Ako rin eh.
Yeah, he got swole, man.
Really?
Ano niya, di ba? Payatot.
Super payat nun.
Nakasabay ko siya sa gym. Grabe.
Barta na siya na rin.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Ayan, stop eating that. So unhealthy.
Chips.
Anyway, when you move into my place na, since it's so much more spacious than yours,
When you move into my place na.
Ang iksi ng shorts ni Rocky. Oh my God.
Judah,
tama na yan.
nag-text si Mrs. Cancio. Nasa labas daw siya, kakausapin tayo.
Mrs. Catcher.
Pwede ikaw na lang.
Kailangan nga raw eh. Tumayo ka na dyan.
Anyways.
Galit ka. Ang
Judah.
daming MSG niyan.
Ano?
Wait lang ah. See you later.
Shit, ang haba ng buhok ni Juju.
Wait, may chips din ako.
Parang alak yung kailangan ko, hindi chips.
Meron na akong soju ngayon. Soju.
Wala eh. Kukuha ko mamaya.
Pwede mo nang gawin
Wow.
kahit ano gusto mo sa akin.
Wow!
Basta paalisin mo lang yung kupal na yan dito sa bahay natin.
At bakit?
Hindi ko alam.
Rocky, I can't adjust my life over something na di ko alam. I've been waiting
Tama.
for Loli to fully accept me. And now that I have her blessing na pwede ko nang mahalin kahit sinong gusto kong mahalin, I really need to choose someone who also chooses me ng buong buo
Amen.
And
for
fair.
this place.
And fair.
May clinic dun sa baba ng building nila. It's gonna be better for my recovery.
Wow. Oh wow.
Sama ka sa kanya. Iwan mo ako mag-isa.
Bakit? Kung pipiliin ba
Yun yung
kita,
ginawa.
kakayanin mo ibigay yung love na kailangan ko.
Wow, how honest. Bumabalik yung character ni Judah nung earlier
Pero in
episodes.
fairness, I mean, yung mga sinasabi naman niya are...
Yeah, correct. Yes.
He's saying the right things. I'm just not sure if he's
Yeah.
making the right decisions.
Nasaan na yung Voss?
Ang awkward nito. Oh my God!
Oh my God!
This is so sad.
Oh my God, hinakbangan nila. Hindi maganda.
It's so sad.
So cute.
Ginawa niyo for Glenn. Oh my God.
You liked it.
How can I eat that? It's too cute.
Basta kainin mo. I made it for you.
Selos.
Akin yan ah.
Parang ganyan yung housemate mo.
Ang cute nun.
Parang may galit sa akin. May gusto ba yan sa'yo? May nangyari ba sa inyo?
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
He's also asking the right question. Sad is Glenn.
Yeah.
Straight yan. Mainitin lang yung ulo. Huwag mo nang pansin ha?
If you say so. By the way, labas muna ako. I'm gonna meet up with the delivery guy. It's for the rapid test kit.
Okay.
Oh my God, Glenn is gonna get hurt.
Kanina tinatanong kita. Hindi ka makasagot. Ngayon, eksena ka. Ano ba problema mo?
Hindi ko nga alam eh. Naiinis ako na nandyan siya. Naiinis ako na napapasaya ka niya.
So biglang gusto mo na ako dahil may kaagaw ka? Like I'm some game?
Gusto naman kita eh. Dati pa.
Gusto mo ako? So, bakla ka nga.
Hindi! Hindi ganun yun eh. Pwede bang... bisexual
Tingnan
ba
sa
yun?
trailer.
Hoy, hindi gray area ang bisexuality ha. Napipiliin mo lang dahil natatakot ka maging bakla.
Ano? Hindi ganun yun. Hindi mo gets eh. Basta sigurado ako na gusto kita.
Hindi mo nga sure kung ano ka eh. Tapos sure ka na gusto mo.
Rocky, that's all you need to... Judah, that's all you need to know na gusto ka niya.
Hindi, tama din sinabi ni Judah.
Oo, pero pinipilit niyang mag-out. Pwedeng pan, pwedeng bi.
Yeah, pero tama din naman na...
You wanna drink later sa balcony? Mayroon pa dyan. Then,
Pag-usapan natin din.
Mamaya.
Oo.
Sorry, baby Jew. I'd rather drink cocoa water. You know?
Oh my God.
Plus, boring kaya mag-people.
Lambanog is cocoa water.
Pwede
Char.
namang ikaw na lang panoodin ko buong gabi.
Oh. Kawawa na.
Rocky.
Kawawa naman si Rocky.
Bilisan mo ah.
So ano yung search word dito? Guy with instant noodles.
With
Guy taking selfie.
With instant noodles.
With instant noodles.
Oh my God, hindi ko kaya itong episode na to. Nasasaktan ako sa mga
Rocky.
moment na ganyan.
Oh my God.
Miss mo lang ako kasi kailangan mo ako. Yun lang yun.
Grabe na yung walls ni Judah.
Kamusta? Grabe, clean mo naman. Saglit lang ako nawala eh.
Wow,
Ay,
that was fast. Biling mark ni Royce.
I can really live like this, you know? You and me, us, together. Netflix and chill every night. Also, I've been thinking, pag tayo na, pwedeng ikaw na lang tumakbo as rep. Total, we'll be seen din naman as one entity, di ba? So wala namang difference if ikaw yung tumakbo or ako.
Glenn, tell me nga, why do you think they didn't choose me? Ano pa bang kulang sa akin?
Well, it's not like that, you know? It's less about you and more about me. Siyempre, gusto nila tumakbo yung someone who represents everyone, di ba? I mean, they know you're gay, whatever, but you haven't really dated a guy before. Hell, you even haven't dated me yet. Di ba? So, yun. Siguro, some people think you're just saying that for more following. For clout, I guess.
Wow ha.
Don't mind them.
Ang dami pa lang dapat patunayan pagbakla. Saan ba makakakuha ng certification para di na nila ako ma-question?
You're getting riled up na naman. Come here, let me hug you.
17 minutes pa lang, ang dami na natin kailangan i-unpack dito sa lecheng to.
I know, super.
I-live na kaya natin yung unpacking.
Salamat ulit sa padala mo kanina. Bukas na bukas din, mamalingki ako para may stock kami ng mga kapatid mo.
Lain pa.
Anak, okay ka lang?
Ayos lang ako pa.
Bakit para matamlay ka?
Miss ko lang kayo. Tsaka si Mama.
Proud na proud sigurado ang mama mo. Napakasipag mo. Independent, resourceful.
Hindi ko magagawa ng lahat ng to kung walang isang taong tumulong sa akin.
Sino?
Basta pa. Isang taong mahalaga para sa akin.
Kung mahalaga siya sa'yo, mahalaga rin siya sa amin. Kaya ingatan mo siya, anak, ha?
Wow.
Huhu.
Hi. Si Beshi ka, di ba? Si Rocky to.
Ay!
Wow.
Gusto ko lang itanong kung matinong tao
Oh my
ba to si
God,
Ben?
seryoso siya.
Bakit mo
Oo.
tinatanong? And why you sounded so worried?
Oh my God, nagsiselos ka, no?
Hindi. Ayoko lang patulan ni Judah yun kasi wala na siya ibang choice.
Walang choice? Bakit may iba ba bang choice for Judah? Ano?
Ikaw ba yung other choice?
Well, alam mo, mabait naman yan si Glenn. Pero, syempre as Judah's beshi,
Ayoko mag-settle doon sa okay lang, no? Gusto ko yung best for him. Eh, ang tanong,
may better option pa ba for Judah?
Gusto kong ako yun. Gusto kong ipakita kung gaano ako nagpapasalamat kay Judah. At kung gaano siya kahalaga sa akin.
Eh, yun naman pala eh. Pwes, wag puro salita. Gawa din. Fight for my beshi.
Sige.
Come on, let's do it.
Oh my God.
Have protection with me. You'll be safe. Come on.
Tutulog ko na lang.
I know you want this.
Teka lang.
May nangyari sa amin ni Judah. Ginusto namin. Ginusto ko.
What the fuck?
Rocky!
Are you for real? So that's why you don't want to have sex with me? Because you're having plenty of it naman pala eh. Great.
Glenn, wait lang. Mag-usap-usap nga tayo.
Padrama-drama ka pa on Twitter that you feel so alone this quarantine? And this whole time may ka-live-in ka naman pala? Unbelievable. You know my place, right? Ikaw naman magabol sa akin kung gusto mo talaga ako.
Tama. Tama din naman.
But this is such a hot mess.
Yeah.
Judah.
Ano ba yung shorts ni Rocky? My God.
I love it.
Sorry na.
We should all wear shorts like that.
Woo!
Kung wala akong ginawa kanina, baka kung ano nangyari sa inyo eh.
Oo.
Kaya mo ako pinigilan from enjoying myself. Because you can enjoy yourself din, ganun. Para dami-dami tayo. Ako'y naghahabol sa'yo.
Oh my God.
Ikaw itong pakipot. Kasi ngayon na may ibang taong willing na ibigay yung hinahanap ko. mga eksena.
Oh.
Why does everybody fight for me when it's too late?
Okay.
Kailangan ba? Pain muna talaga bago love. Kailangan magtampo muna ako kay Loli bago niya ako matanggap. Kailangan ba di muna ako kunin ni Mami for her to realize that I need her? Kailangan ba magkasakit muna ako bago magseryoso sa akin si Glenn? And you, ikaw, kailangan ba may iba na nagpaparamdam sa akin? Bago ka matauhan na kamahal-mahal din naman pala ako kahit pa paano putangin.
Naiyak ako. Oh my God.
Kasi naman,
Dito ka muna. Judah. Please. Huwag mo akong iiwan.
Ano ba?
Siya ang pipiliin mo? Bakit siya ang pipiliin mo? Ha? Marte yun. Hindi ka ganun kahit mayaman ka. Humanap agad siya ng mga iba nung humindi ka. Judah, sinungaling siya. Nung napagkamalan ni Loli na siya ako. Oh. Ba't di niya tinanggi? Bakit ka nagmamahal ng ganun, Judah?
Ang dami mong rason kung bakit hindi ko dapat piliin si Glenn. Pero hindi mo ako mabigyan ng kahit isang rason para piliin ka. Ano gusto mo? Nagmaya ako sa inisigurado. Pwede ko naman tayaan yung taong pinipili ako ng buo.
Tumataya rin naman ako sa'yo eh. Kaya nga ito, parang akong tangang nagmamakaawa. Judah.
Kaya ka sa akin. Sarili mo pa, hindi mo matayaan.
Judah. Judah, please. Alis ka? Sige. Alis ka.
ano yun? Yung ano? Party
The quarantine pass!
Wala sa
Putang
kanila pwede
ina.
lumabas. Okay.
Wow. Wait. Oh my God.
Gusto ba natin ng break? Pwede tayong bumalik na lang sa call? Ano, gusto niyo ba mag-live na lang?
Mahirap siya i-live. Hindi ba siya mahirap
Hindi,
i-live?
Pareho lang,
Okay.
kaso nga lang hindi natin mai-edit.
Wala nang edit.
Better edit natin, di ba?
Nakakatakot ba?
Oo
Ang dami kailangan i-unpack.
I know.
Pero in fairness, this is a worthy penalty. In fairness.
Yes. In fairness.
In fairness.
You know how they're tying everything up.
Oo. To get all those,
Nagsiset up na sila.
all those,
Mm.
yeah. Oh my God, yung ending, putang ina na naman.
Hindi ko alam, tumataas yung balahibo ko, hindi ko kasi alam kung saan pupunta yung...
Ako medyo triggered ako nung nanonood kasi may PTSD ako. Para basta mamaya ako na sa i-share. May PTSD ako ng slight.
Ako din. Ang dami.
Alam mo
May PTSD ako
yung
ng slide.
bago pumasok si Rocky, natakot ako nun eh. Kasi parang
yung hinuhubaran ni na... Oo.
Ako, PTSD ako between Rocky and Judah. Basta, mamaya, I will explain.
Sige, kasi it'll
I
take
get what
more
you
than 5
mean. Oh my
minutes
God,
for you.
JC. Parang gets ko na yung pinanggagalingan mo.
Ako hindi pa. O siya, bye.
Inom muna tayo para,
kukuha ako
warm
ng
up na
alak.
tayo pag...
Tama ka dyan.
Bye. Cheers.
Cheers,
Pinanood
guys.
ko ulit yung, habang nagre-render yung reaction part ng...
Ako din, nag-scrub ako.
Pinanood ko ulit yung just the ending. Oh my God.
My God. The lines, to be fair. Ang daming kailangan yan. Do we want to start from the...
Sequential na lang para hindi pa talon-talon. From the beginning, what was the...
Yeah, Gina Pareño. My God.
Ang daming kailangan pag-usapan dun, ha? Pero,
that explains a lot.
Yeah. Ang dami kailangan pag-usapan.
Very Rainbow Sunset ba yun, yung movie? Yung Lolo.
Yeah. Yung iyak niya, parang iyak ng regret niya sa buong buhay niya eh. Alam mo yun? Parang...
I can just imagine naman kasi. Di ba?
Yeah, it's a mistake she's been carrying for a while. I feel like she blamed herself that her late husband
was gay.
Died alone.
But then,
and unhappy.
Ang problem ko doon is she's repeating the same mistake to her grandson. Na,
yeah, but she realized already na hindi nga dapat. So,
hindi dapat kasi kung hindi, Juju will end up like that again. Also, kapag you try to change him now, that's how he'll end up.
At least she realized that. Pero yung, oh my God, yung acting ni Gina Pareño doon, feeling ko ano yun eh, dala niya yung guilt na yun eh, na her husband died alone, sad.
And the kwento, the guy was in Paris, tapos overlooking na doon sa gay bar.
Tapos trying to live the life that he wasn't able to live. Ako mas yun eh.
Or watching, actually watching the life
reliving through
before him.
Watching. Actually, sa akin nga more than, I mean, on top of what you said, Sid, na she kind of blames herself. In a way also, she kind of regrets na parang, if she had known, would she have allowed her husband to just like live the life na gusto niya? I mean, ang dami din ang baggage nun na. Kasi for example, biniblame din niya yung sarili niya na ako yung rason kung bakit hindi niya kayang gawin yun. Kasi he felt that
madaming levels yan. Number one,
ang lalim.
Una, hindi ko mabigay yung hinahanap niya. Yun yung una.
Yes.
Bilang mag-asawa na sila. Pangalawa, hindi ko mabigay. Tapos ako pa yung nakakapigil.
Oo, kasi kasal tayo. Oo.
Tapos, after that, kung kunwari napag-usapan na maaga, papayag ba ako?
Feeling ko papayag siya kasi pumayag naman siya. Well, we don't know.
It was already twilight years also, pero it's easier. Twilight years na. Can you imagine having to go through that conversation while, kunwari, at this age, kunwari, may asawa ako. Tapos meron kaming, at anak namin yung batang LJ. Hindi pero hindi mo rin alam kung how the wife will take that also. Retro diba?
And especially that generation, ha? That generation pa.
Coming from
I'm not even sure if the daughter, if LJ knows this.
And also, it touches on a lot of closeted guys really ended up marrying.
Yeah, especially
and never coming out.
And they didn't have the courage to come out.
Especially that era.
Yeah,
And
especially that era.
I can only imagine they come from an affluent family. So, feeling ko, conservative yan.
Image. Yeah.
Diba? Madaming yan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hindi lang image. You're
also,
supposed to start a family. You're supposed to continue the family name. Ang dami.
Yeah, family, the clan.
Kaya nga, that monologue of Gina
Tapos the shame.
That in her monologue, di ba ang dami natin tanong, that explains, parang that, that explains a lot.
Nagigets ko na si Loli. Gets ko na siya.
To be fair, hindi siya yung cop-out. Kasi may mga show na parang adaming, tapos pipiliin nila yung last minute para explain lahat. To be fair dito, they were able to plant the seeds properly.
Yes.
Na, to the point na pag nung nag-reveal siya, hindi mo sasabihin, bakit ngayon lang kasi sinabi yan? Now is the right time actually also.
At hindi siya nagsimula doon. It was more of like, kamustahan. Tapos it came from nowhere na parang suddenly since we're talking, ilalabas ko na. Bigla tayong, anong nangyayari?
Grabe yung hindi ko na kayang, yung line na hindi ko na kayang may isang bakla ulit sa buhay ko.
Ako din.
Girl!
Parang, oh my God,
oh my God! Here's the wine. Loli, ba't hindi ka mag-champagne ka na, Loli? It's a champagne moment.
Ang galing nung pasok ng segue na hindi mo din ine-expect.
To be fair sa writing nitong BL na to, alam mo, my God, congratulations.
Congrats, Rod, my God.
Oh my God.
For me, this is their best episode 7.
Yes.
Ang dami ng episode. Ang dami niyang laman. Sobrang dami.
Tsaka normally yun, kung normal yun, ang mangyayari, opening pa lang, patawarin mo ko, apo, ganun na agad Wala kang, walang, ito, smartly, ang
at saka makikita mo, na-trigger siya. Kasi bigla may dalawang, yung apo niya, may dalawang lalaki.
Tapos dalawa yung guy,
Correct.
May rason, hindi siya, it didn't come out of nowhere.
Pero kailangan ko na ba tanggapin to? It's too real. It became too real for her.
Yes.
And she had to face reality. She did.
Tsaka, it was right in front of her screen.
Congratulations, Loli. Diba? It's not an easy thing to do. To face
Tapos
reality.
iba yung nakaka-fragile yung yun she's old na, and then she's crying
alone, she's in quarantine.
And then I think she's crying the pain of her life. Yun yung niya Diba? That was the cross she was carrying, the heaviest cross she was carrying for her life. Her
if
husband.
you think about it, she can't really regret it that much because that union with her husband brought her her daughter, brought her Judah, brought her the rest of the grandkids. Parang, it's really, I'm speaking, this entire episode is really parang situational drama siya. Kasi wala ako masabi kung sino sa kanilang tama Parang pinagdaroon sila ng sitwasyon. They have to deal with it. They have to deal with the cards that life has given them.
Yeah. They're all tangled. They're all tangled because of their personal baggage.
Also, pero alam mo yung parang wala kang masermon na kasi bakit mo ginawa yun Wala.
Walang kontrabida. Wala.
Hindi mo siya ma-blame Actually, naawa ka nga Your heart goes out to Loli na parang she endured that the whole time, and she was trying to fix it because she felt she messed up. So she's trying to fix it without anyone knowing. Can you imagine that burden on you?
Oo. Nang wala siya, hindi niya
wala siyang pinagsabihan.
Ngayon lang nalaman ng apo niya at saka ng anak niya yung nangyari sa asawa. Tapos pumasok pa sa kol yung anak niya.
Oh my God.
Na parang, Ma, why did you do that? Di ba may ganun pang...
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Pero ito si Loli may closure.
I don't wanna end up like a sad old gay man. I don't want.
Ako tanggap.
I know. Ako rin. No, JC,
totoo ba yan, JC?
Hindi.
No.
Kaya ako na-trigger. Kukwento ko later.
Susugod kami dyan sa LA, JC. No.
Oh. Wala ba kayong peg on how you want to age?
Well, ako, okay na ako sa ganito. Tanggap ko
ako
na.
As
long as I have my friends and my family and I have enough money to enjoy the things that I'd love to enjoy. But I don't see love in my life anymore.
Well, you can love other. Wait, love is a.
Yeah, love doesn't have to be a person, ha?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
As long as
That's
you love
why,
what you're
in my
doing.
head,
Pero dapat hindi
it's
yung
not a
tone niya. Ako,
person.
I don't expect to be with someone. I just don't want to be sad. You don't have to be happy naman.
I won't be alone kasi I'll have my friends, I'll have my family, whoever.
Don't move
but
to
like
Paris
in the context of like alone na you miserable, no naman. Pero meaning unpartnered, I'm kinda already to that.
Well, that's fine, I guess.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. It's not,
that's fine. Pero dapat ako ang ko kasi, you don't have to be just because you're old and single, you're sad. No.
Yeah, of course.
Kaya
nga sabi ko,
dami ganon. Even straight people are like that.
If you have the right friends and you have enough financially, and then you have the support of either family and or like a support group, you will be happy.
Although JC, yung ayaw ko lang sa statement mo is you've already closed yourself off to the possibility of dapat hindi.
Alam mo,
kasi kung totoong tanggap mo JC na okay ka ng ganito, you should be open na kung may dumating, yay.
Two parts naman kasi ang love. Two parts in love. One, the receiving and the giving. As long as you're giving love, the universe will give it back in one form.
Correct.
Or
I agree. I agree with Carl.
And I get it a lot from like friends like you.
Yeah.
Hindi ko na siya.
Huwag mong sabihin na okay na akong single.
Hindi naman. Sinasabi ko lang na parang if it doesn't happen, I'll be okay with it. If it does, I'm not naman closing my door. Yeah, I'm just saying na I'm already thinking about it, and if that's a possibility, then I'll be fine. Pero if it's not, if someone comes along, then good. Pero hindi na siya rin dati na tipong sana. Alam mo yun, yung parang pining for it. Kasi nakakapagod.
Tama naman niya. Prepare for the worst and expect the best.
Oo, nakakapagod.
Parang, you're managing your expectations na.
Yes. I'm managing my expectations.
I don't mind.
Pero hindi, ako laban pa rin eh.
I'm not actively like sana meron akong parang wala akong
Hindi.
Kasi ang dami-daming problema sa mundo or there's so many things to care about.
Iba din yung personalities kasi natin. Like ako, I will never act on it eh. So that's why someone has to make the first move because I know I will never will. I'm not confident enough to do that.
Nakitinig.
Just to put my Pero some people are. Kaya that's why, like for you, Sid, I don't think you need to pine because when you feel it, you're brave enough to act on it and just express your feelings and bahala na, di ba? Which is very, very admirable. And from my end, naman, it's something that I cannot do and I cannot change. I mean, I think I've tried, but I can't na talaga.
Yeah.
So, ibig sabihin, I just have to adjust, manage my expectations based on who I am. Pero tama ka. I mean, if you still have the opportunity to change yourself and, be more proactive as opposed to passive, that's better.
And I think being open is enough.
Yeah, being open is enough. But as long as you don't have that mindset na I'll be single forever. You don't have to be actively looking for it. Ako, I'm not actively.
We are at the point in our lives na parang, are we still going to change ourselves to accommodate someone else? No.
Pero kaya nga sobra akong na-trigger nung sinabi ni Judah na bakit kailangan mo pang makita na may naghahabol din sa akin para ma-realize na kamahal-mahal din ako. Sobra akong na-trigger doon.
Yeah. Ang sakit nun.
Kasi that's how
Pero
I
you will not,
to
be fair, I don't think any of us will end up like the grandfather because we have already lived.
I hope
and
not.
We have been.
Although, okay na rin ako na I'm in Paris.
Yes.
I retire in Paris.
Okay,
Why not?
God, we just mentioned it.
We have already...
Sorry, I'm just gonna may thought. Kasi baka mawala ako, Carly. Kasi you brought it up. Na-realize ko lang, late na siya nag-come out, wala man lang siyang support group like this. Ayun, can you imagine? Parang ang hirap
mag-isa siya, di ba? Tapos,
quite sad.
Hindi lang yun.
Alam mo, hanggang ngayon, I'm still
Hindi. I mean, kasi in our case, we have already been living our truths.
Oo.
Yes.
He was not living his truth.
Wasn't.
That's the biggest... I'm not gonna say that he was living a lie because I would like to think that the love he felt for his family, for the family that he has made, was also
And
real.
he stayed with it He stayed with them.
I'm sure he loved Lolly. I'm sure he loved Judah, the daughter, the grandkids.
Ang dami kong questions actually.
Pero he
kasi
had to
that's
love
so
himself.
sad.
In the end, he also had to love himself.
Pero do you think it was too late? I feel like it was too late.
It was too late.
That's why it's so sad. Hanggang ngayon, iniisip ko pa rin siya. This new character that they suddenly threw at us is so, oh my God.
I want them to make, those 3 years, I want them to make a movie kung ano yung nangyari ko sa 3 years.
Yes.
And it's going to be shot in Paris. It's going to be shot in Paris. Oh, di ba? Taray. I volunteer to be PA.
I volunteer to be whatever you want me to be. PM.
Yeah, pero seriously, because ayoko namang i-dismiss, baka for outside looking in, maybe it sounded sad. Pero the thing is, he was able to live up to it. I was able to own his truth. And I think it was still better than not being able
but
to
then again,
say
yes,
it
true.
all.
Yes.
Also, the gay scene there, parang nag-flourish naman yung old guys doon.
Hindi, pero I can just
bar.
imagine na parang he acted on it. Okay, fine. I had the courage to tell my wife about it.
No?
She allowed me. And then when you're there, you know when you're, alam mo yun, when you're late in the game and you feel you have so much catching up to do and you feel na naiwanan ka na. I can also imagine the insecurity na parang, when I'm gonna enter that bar, I have no idea what to do. I'm old. Who's gonna be attracted to me? And he just got stuck on that balcony looking at that bar every day and living vicariously to the people who would go to that bar.
And he did not even, I was half expecting that he left the wife for another man. Hindi.
Not even.
Hindi
Not
diba?
even.
Hindi. Kasi parang, I can't live this, I have to live my truth, and I'm in love, I have been in love with this guy. Walang ganon.
He wasn't even able to act on it. When he acted on it, it was like...
Well, we don't know naman. We don't know naman. Pwede hindi na lang niya shinare kay Lolly. Ako, in my head, para lang masaya ako na hindi siya namatay na miserable, he went to some fetish bar.
Yes! Nag-orgy siya.
Fetish bar agad, Sid.
Ano yung tawag doon? Dark room. Nag-black room siya.
May bear bar doon eh.
Hindi, or yung, di ba yung mga black room sa Europe?
Yeah.
Diba?
Yes.
Pero alam mo kasi, there are two ways of there are two ways of seeing this. And ako parang, I'm just really compelled to look at the more optimistic end. Kasi it's either, it was too late when he did it, or 3 years, diba? 3 years. Buti nakahabol pa ako.
This was the best.
Rather than taking that to your deathbed, thinking na, oh my God, I'm dying.
But some people take it to the grave. Some people really just take it to the grave.
Doon ako dun sa, those 3 years might have had lonely...
Were the best years of his life, no?
Pero I'm sure he felt free.
When he was dying, gusto ko na lang na-imagine na he wasn't really alone because he had the memories of his family to keep him company. And the 3 years that he was able to live his truth. Yeah. And sana masaya siyang namatay siya.
Sana meron siyang boy toy noon.
And I will quote Lolly.
A French boy toy.
I will quote Lolly for the grandfather. Mayaman ako. Kaya ko pumunta sa Paris. Girl, kaya ko pumunta sa Paris.
I can pay for sex. I'm sure, di ba? He would
afford kong mag-rent ng apartment overlooking a gay bar.
Yeah.
For 3 years.
Afford nga real estate.
Wala kang gagawin. You will not buy the best wine. You will not hire singers to
buy the best boyfriend.
Yes.
Hello. He could just get an escort.
You will not
get an escort.
You will not get the best couture. I don't know. But
yeah.
If you can't find
I'm
love,
sure I hope he had the best life those 3
Sarap.
years. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. Or it's not really about sabi nga nila, saan ko ba napanood kanina? Parang you have to love yourself. Talagang that's for me at least he was able to love himself.
True.
Yes. And he was able to do that for himself. Oo. At
imagine,
sabi niya sa mga minamahal niya.
And that's why it's also a lesson on coming out. Wala yan sa edad, guys. Wala yan sa edad. When you're ready and when you accept yourself, that's when the real coming out happens. It's not when you tell others. It's when you come to terms with it. So,
At kaya
I'm
mo
just happy that he
panindigan.
was able to do that. Yeah.
Pero yung traumang naiwanan niya kay Lolly, that's a different story.
Yun nga lang.
Yeah.
You know how I can
Grabe
just
yung guilt
imagine the
siguro nun. I
insecurity also of a woman who realizes na when you although it's not her fault, but I can just imagine what she's feeling.
Ang daming questions, no, JC?
Did I turn him gay? Was it me? Wasn't I enough?
Oh, yun. Ang daming questions talaga nun. Ang dami. I mean, if you watched My Husband's Lover, that was like 50 plus episodes at yan talaga yung tinatackle ng main protagonist.
Carl, may isa-share ako pero kailangan mong i-edit out to.
Sige, bigyan mo lang ng gap.
Ito. Anyway, back to Lolly.
Okay, back to the... Ano ba yung sabihin ko? Yun, I mean...
Feeling ko talaga, ako sobra akong kasi parang gets ko yung motivation ni Lolly for trying to fix Judah. Kasi
Judah.
she didn't want Judah to die sad and alone. Kasi that's what he knows of gay men. That's the... Alam mo yun?
That's what happened.
Yung tumatak sa
Pero naintindihan ko din si Lolly.
Pero ang hindi nakita ni Lolly...
It took a lot for her, It took a lot for her to accept na no, this is not the right... Ang bilis ng shift niya in that conversation alone. Na-realize niya na hindi, may chance na maging masaya yung...
haba na hair nung apo niya two options. Ha?
Two options.
Tayo dito, ilan ang options natin? Asan?
Ako wala akong option.
Pero,
marami.
Ang hindi ko lang maintindihan is kung ba't hindi niya nakita that what she was doing would actually guarantee will actually get Judah on that train. A one-way ticket to where the grandfather went.
That's the only thing that she knows Hindi naman siya exposed
din kasi.
Pero
hindi niya naisip na it was all because of the repression and then she went ahead to repress her grandson.
We can't blame her din naman kasi it's their generation. Wala silang alam masyado
Hindi sila ganun mag-isip.
Alam mo yun, she was coming from a place of care talaga and love. Yung fear.
And fear also.
But
pero gets din kita, Carl.
Diba? Parang you're repeating history kasi.
Hindi.
Diba?
From an outside point of view kasi, it's so clear na parang, that's not intervening actually. You're just bound to repeat it for him.
Diba?
Yes. Pero in her head kasi parang, kasi sa kanya late niyang hindi niya naagapan Siguro yung isip niya, curable or pwede fixable. Kaya habang bata pa si Judah.
Or I'm just glad na nagising siya dun sa Zoom call na yon. Siguro hindi niya naisip niya na parang, oh my God, diba? Parang,
although dun sa Zoom call na yon, ang motivation niya was kind of selfish kasi she realized by doing that, she was driving her grandson away, her daughter away, and then she might end up alone like her late husband.
For all intents and purposes, she already is alone.
Yeah, she already is. Ang hirap noon when you're at that age.
Ay, nako. I'm actually dreading growing old.
Ay, nako. I hope I die when I'm 50. Ayoko talaga.
Ako nga, 40.
I have lived a full life.
I don't wanna die old.
Ako rin. But let's not tell our viewers that. You have to celebrate life as long as there's life, you have to live and love.
Yeah. Live a full life. Ako, ang ko naman is act like you're gonna die tomorrow. Totoo.
Ano ba?
Amen.
Just
Kaya man
try to be happy.
I just act what I want.
Try to be happy and try to make other people happy.
Ako feeling ko I will have so many regrets. But, well.
So, JC,
ganun siya.
Then don't stop. Kasi doon ako as a friend don't have that attitude. Gusto ko mawala yung attitude na yan. Alam mo na ngayon na you will have those regrets. So why aren't you fixing it?
Huwag ka maging defeatist.
I'm trying to be na naman na now. Pero yung looking back lang, yung mga hindi ko na mababago. Yung mga dumaan.
Oo, wag na. Pero
tapos
ngayon, tapos na yun. So ngayon, just new na to. New slate.
Outlook. New attitude, sabi nga ni Patti LaBelle.
Let's all be Lolly and adapt this change or this illumination.
Yes. Yeah. Teka lang, kailangan na natin mag-move on. Cheers to Lolly. Next,
cheers to Lolly.
Natakal na natin si Lolly. That's why.
Meron
very deep
sobrang triggered ako dun sa isa. Pero,
Go, Carl.
Yung tatlo na. Yung si Glenn, si Rocky, tsaka si Judah.
Ay, tatlo muna. Kasi meron pang yung si Rocky.
I mean, pwede na tayong tumalon-talon.
Go, Carl. Ano yung sa'yo?
Pwede na tayong
anong trigger point mo?
Yung pinipilit niya di ba, we had like a row di ba, during that scene, except that we had to watch na, Sid, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yung pinipilit niyang, ikaw nga, hindi mo nga masabing bakla ka, pero girl, di ba nga, parang ilang minutes natin pinag-uusapan this whole YouTube life of mine, ngayon ko lang din naiintindihan, and he's supposed to be enlightened on this, ha? Na hindi naman, porque may gusto sa lalaki, bakla lang yung option eh. And biniring up ni Rocky yun. Hindi ba pwedeng buy?
Yes.
Siguro hindi lang niya kasi alam yung ibang options. Pan, fluid, madami pa. Pero I don't understand why Rocky would insist na hindi, umamin kang bakla ka. Hindi ko maintindihan. Why ni Judah? Well, in fact, all he has to know is that gusto siya ni Rocky. And then, kung meron mang issue si Rocky, they can go through that together.
Pero,
although gets ko din si
Judah.
Ako din, naintindihan ko siya. Kasi ako, honestly, it's hard kasi si Judah, parang, na siya guarded na siya because of what happened. So parang, you want me to let my guards down again. Pero sana, sure ka sa akin. Pero
sure
parang, hindi siya sure sa sarili niya. How will you be sure?
How can you?
With
Exactly.
Hindi. What he was saying is that sure siya na gusto niya si Judah, pero in-insist si Judah na umamin munang Bex si ano. Kasi naman yung paulit-ulit na sinasabi
comes together, ha? Parang how can you say you like me when you're
siguro
not sure what
hindi
you
niya
are?
naiintindihan kung how he likes him, pero hindi niya maintindihan how
pero
or why.
That's Judah's way of educating him about it. Sinasabi niya, klaruhin mo muna sa sarili mo what you are and what you want. I mean,
no, he wanted him to see that he was gay.
In between the lines, he's just saying na wag mo gamitin yung bisexuality as just to parang kumbaga sinabi lang niya aminin mo ng bakla ka kung bakla ka, sinabi naman niya. So ibig sabihin, find out muna what you are.
But what if Rocky turns out to be
sinasabi ni Carl kasi gets ko din yung sinasabi ni Carla to a degree na ang kailangan mo lang malaman kasi ang fluid na ng sexuality, di ba? Ang kailangan mo lang malaman, mahal ka niya. Mahal ka ni Rocky. Gusto ka ni Rocky. Pero, coming from, kasi kung ganun lang yun, if the things before that did happen, okay. Pero may nangyari ni.
Ayun lang.
Hello. Pero, muntik na nga siyang sumama kay Chet, di ba? Yung parang,
so hindi ka sigurado
hindi sigurado. I don't think it's for me hindi parang tumataas yung walls ni Judah kasi bakit ako tataya dito? Hindi mo nga yun nga sinabi ni Judah yun eh. You can't take a chance on yourself even. Kasi hindi mo maano sa sarili mo kung ano ka, sino ka.
O ano siya,
yan yung sinasabi ko from the last episode. Di ba, remember we had the discussion na sinisermonan mo si Judah. Sabi ko, naiintindihan ko si Judah.
Sorry, kasi, Judah.
Kasi, bakit ka yung sinasabi mo, bakit ang bilis mo naman nag-shift, parang hindi mo siya mahal. Pero parang self-preservation na nga eh. Parang in his head, why will I go for someone who is so unsure of himself and so unsure of me? Kaya sobra ko siyang nakuha. And kaya ako triggered kanina kasi you guys know naman that my first boyfriend was closeted. So hindi din niya matanggap, 'di ba? So parang yun din yung naging issue namin in the beginning. I was like walking on eggshells. And in fact, on the contrary, and to your point, Carl, I didn't even force him to admit it. Okay, if you like me, then fine, you like me. And then suddenly, when he was being cold to me, now I was running. Bakit? May na-meet ka na bang iba? Babae ba yan? Lalaki ba? Hindi ko alam. Alam ba kung gano'n nakakabaliw yun na hindi mo alam kung sino yung kakompetensya mo, sino yung kalaban mo, sino yung kaagaw mo sa attention niya, bakit hindi ka niya namahal? Mababaliw ka talaga. Up to now, I don't even understand it fully. Pero sa akin, that's why I get Judah, na parang siguro medyo crass lang yung pagkasabi niya because naman he's very straightforward about it. But I understand his motivation to parang, dude, figure yourself out first bago ka magsabi sa akin na mahal mo ko. Kasi yung words na mahal na yan, hindi mo yan dapat binibitawan lang ng basta-basta if you don't mean it.
But he looks like he means it.
Yeah.
Well,
but then again,
sometimes
JC,
looks can be deceiving.
But then again, JC, iba-iba din yung mga tao.
Yun nga, pero kasi...
Like, Rocky could be...
But Judah is not an experience. So he will err on... Being him, being very rational, and he's such an intelligent boy, he will err on like, okay, I will preserve myself. I mean, bahala kayo dyan.
But going by that argument, your solution is to actually leave the person who's uncertain and go with somebody na in the first place nireject mo na before.
Mali din yun, di ba? Sobrang mali din yun.
Hindi.
So it was
ito naman different lens na kasi siya. Ang kanyang rationale behind that is that first of all, he finally admits na okay, Glenn is not that bad. I'm gonna give him a chance. And it's someone who actually has proclaimed that he really likes me. Although, ang bilis din ng shift kasi nung nalaman naman ni Glenn, ako naman yung point ko kay Glenn. Then, Glenn, you should have also fought for Judah.
So
tama ka naman, Carl. Pero in my head lang, for example, between Rocky and Glenn, kung ikaw yung papipiliin,
Kaya nga, I have two things. Diba? Parang, number one, it's a classic question na nakakatawa. It's like a party question na parang, inuman tayo, tapos tanong, anong gusto mo? Yung mahal mo o mahal ka?
Or mahal ka, exactly.
Correct.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number two, mahal, obviously, kung hindi man mahal, ang gusto niya si Rocky, he even did that whole PowerPoint thing. But ang flimsy, ito, may kailangan i-figure out, disengage na. What's that whole drama all about?
Ito yung sinasabi ko last episode, diba? Ito nga yung sinasabi ko last episode.
Na baka hindi niya...
Pero that goes both ways, ha? That goes both for Rocky and Judah.
If they get into a relationship, Diyos ko, mas marami pa silang ganitong pagdadaan. I haven't been in one, but I'm sure. Madami pa silang ganitong pagdadaan.
Kasi ang Rocky nung start, pun intended, pero ang Rocky nung start.
It's a Rocky start. It's a Rocky ride, actually, as a whole.
It's a Rocky ride. Pero yun din yung kaya yung sinasabi ko last episode, parang how will they figure all of this out if they are to have a healthy relationship? Kasi lumalabas yung mga nila.
Hindi yun matatapos in one discussion.
Hindi.
Hindi yun matatapos.
I'm sure even when you get into the relationship in one, it doesn't mean na kasi okay, happily ever after, we're like okay to, we're going to. Ibig sabihin nun, you are choosing to fight your battles together.
Yeah. Although honestly, kasi not everyone comes into a relationship ready, prepared, all issues tidied up and stored away. Syempre, you have some issues that exist within you pa rin when you enter a relationship. Pero itong dalawang to, masyadong marami. Yung it's too fresh and real to them. Like Rocky, hello. Self-identity, your sexual identity, alam mo yun, ang dami, identity crisis.
Para silang Harper's Bazaar, ang daming issues.
Iaano ko na yung parang magazine, daming silang issues. Ito na, iaano ko na yung trajectory. Sabihin natin, yung bit of based on experience. O sabihin na natin, umamin si Rocky, sabihin natin, sige fine, now that I think about it, hindi ako bisexual, bakla ako. O tayo na. First relationship niya si Rocky. Si Judah. First time niya maging
First relationship niya yung Che. Or Cha.
First relationship, gay relationship.
First gay relationship.
Si Judah. First relationship ko si Judah. Ngayon, nakapag-gay relationship niya. I'm sure may iba pa dyan.
Hindi lahat ganon, Jace. I have friends na straight sila before, and then naging gay sila. Sobra silang in love.
Sana all. Pero, ito yung alternative scenario to that.
Oo, so what I'm saying is...
You open the floodgates So,
kaya nga sinasabi nila, kaya nga ang tawag nila sugal. Diba yung tinanong ni Judah, sugal, susugal ako sa'yo, hindi ka nga it's sugal, it's always a risk.
Correct.
Iba.
May risk din talaga to go into a relationship with someone who is also just new to being gay. I'm not saying that it can happen. Yun nga, like sinasabi ni Sid, there are certain scenarios wherein they end up together and they stay together for a long time, which is good. Pero there's also this alternative na parang dahil bagong tuklas, yun yung sinasabi nila, joke, bagong tuklas, hayaan mo muna siyang mag-explore and then parang kumbaga
kaka-launch pa lang, bagong launching.
Oo, tapos and then finally to decide na parang what do you want? Kasi first of all, it's the first guy you meet. For sure, he's not representative of everyone. So
although with ano naman,
but he can't because
for me, with Rocky's principles in life, parang dun sa character ni Rocky, tapat
may
siya.
May paninindigan siya.
Oo.
At saka, you can't help it.
Depende din sa tao. I'm not saying it's I'm not generalizing. Again, parang inaano ko lang yung
yes. But
siguro I'm just expressing the fears of Judah because I really could relate to Judah at that point. Na-trigger nga ako.
Which is valid. Pero what I want to say naman to that is that you can't help it. They met at this point in their lives. They met at this point na parang they might be each other's first gay relationships. They can't help that.
Yes.
Ngayon, yes or no?
JC and this doesn't go to Rocky alone. Si Judah also.
Exactly. Yes, I was about to say.
He started this whole thing
because Carl brought it up. The scenario kasi of a quarantine is not a normal situation. Mm-hmm. You're stuck together. Definitely may potential na mo-develop. What happens after when it's no longer quarantine? You're free to go around and you're now exposed to the world. Hindi na limitado. Diba? I mean, I'm just painting a scenario.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
That's why.
Kasi ngayon, ito na yung options
Ito lang yung options You're stuck together So you don't even get to see all your other options. But when you're out there and it's no longer a pandemic, life goes back to normal, it will take, and I would like to believe that if you really are in love, you'll fight for it together, for sure. Pero, that's also a possibility na parang mas maraming ngayong outside factors that will...
Well, at this point, matagal pa yun. Matagal pa yun. Thank you, government.
Pero yun, I mean...
Napakawalang
sobrang lang talaga akong triggered kasi sobrang nakaka-relate.
Gets naman. I get it.
Andun pa lang tayo sa...
Pwede na natin pag-usapan yung ending, no?
Oo, sige Sid. Talong pa na dun sa...
When Judah was... packing.
Si Glenn muna.
Si Glenn muna.
There is the matter of Glenn.
Ano yung issue mo kay Glenn?
Well, kasi nilabas din naman ni Judah, di ba, before, yung finally na parang kailangan ba magkasakit muna ako bago ako seryosohin ni Glenn. Pero kasi before that, yung the whole encounter dun sa room.
Dun sa bedroom.
For a minute there, actually, tatakot ako if there was going to be an issue on consent. Pero, we'll never know.
Wala naman. I don't think Glenn crossed it
Parang open naman si Judah.
Or parang, eventually, parang open naman pala si Judah. Pero for a minute there, tatakot ako. Doon naman ako na PTSD.
I figured that out.
As in, natatakot talaga ako. Parang, oh my God, is this going there? Yun.
Yeah. Buti na lang it did. Buti lang it did not.
Pero the whole thing that he was saying na parang ano ba yung mga sinabi niya nun kay Judah when he just like left na parang
meron ng protection. Alam kong gusto mo naman to, 'di ba? May mga ganun siya, 'di ba?
The whole thing after Rocky's revelation na parang nagkukunwari ka pa na lonely ka, ganyan pala, meron ka palang ka-live-in, ganyan.
Oo.
So hindi ko rin maintindihan kung ano yung motivation niya.
At that point, parang kasi all this time, kala niya available si Judah. Gets ko din si Glenn dun eh. Yun pala, meron siyang
Hindi kaya nga, so gusto
ang question ko kay Glenn, hindi mo ba nakita yung mga topless pics ni Rocky na pinost ni Glenn?
Alter nga daw alter.
Ay, oo nga pala. Oo nga pala.
Hindi, pero although, ang gusto ko rin naman kasi ipakita is also, Glenn is also a victim of circumstance. Like all of them.
Yeah. Yes, all of them talaga.
At di ba, sinabi ko rin na parang nung that whole eksena with Lolly, na-realize na, oh my God, masasaktan tong tao ko. Siya yung masasaktan nilang dalawa actually.
Si Glenn?
Mukha naman pala.
Pero valid yung mga points ni Rocky about you shouldn't like make rash decisions kasi hindi mo naman pa talaga kilala tong Glenn na to.
Although, mas kilala pa niya si Glenn versus Rocky. So that's a counter to his argument, to his own case.
Diba? Valid si Rocky pero yun nga, actually, that also applies to him.
Yeah, mas kilala pa niya si Glenn. Kaya gets ko din si Kyo eh. Kasi mas kilala niya si Glenn versus Rocky. So mali yung argument ni Rocky dun.
Oo.
Mukha naman kumakain ng salad tong si ano. all the whole chips.
Well, si Rocky kahit hindi kumakain ng salad, mukhang kumakain ng salad.
Hindi siya pwedeng kumain ng ng itlog kasi pescatarian siya, hindi mo siya lacto-ovo.
Oo. No, pescatarian, chicken and...
No, fish lang, pescatarian.
Fish lang, no? Fish.
Mm-hmm.
Oo nga, no? Hindi pwedeng egg.
Anyway, so na-bring up nila si Glenn, pero kung gusto natin siyang iwanan dahil we have bigger
issues to tackle.
Yeah.
Hindi ako yung issue ko lang kay Glenn.
Si Versace. A.K.A. Versace.
Versace.
Issue ko lang kay Glenn is parang he also gave up easily.
No? At saka siya rin naman nag-feeling
alam mo, sa akin okay lang. Parang mas valid nga yung pag-give up ni Glenn easily eh. Kasi ano lang naman siya eh. Parang he was just kasi hindi naman niya sinabi na mahal niya si what's this? Si Judah. Alam mo yun? He was just interested. So parang
okay. I guess yung sa akin, hindi lang, I wanted lang sana a deeper not naman explanation, but like parang kumbaga, so ano ako, panakit butas, or ano ako, second option. I mean, of course they didn't say it that way, but like
gets naman niya eh. They didn't have to state it.
Parang meron ka na palang tapos
sinabi niya, di ba sinabi naman ni Glenn na meron ka palang ka-live-in eh. So ano pang ginagawa niya doon, di ba?
Kung you know where I live, ako naman yung
habulin. Maghabol sa, ikaw naman.
Oo, tama din naman yun. At least si Glenn may self-worth.
Oo.
Tama yun, pero
Glenn.
Best for self-worth.
Para silang may ikot lang sila sa tatlo.
I just wanted...
Diba, they're really dogs chasing each other around.
Ayun na! Ibang BL yun daw. Yung comment. Pero yes.
Yung kay Glenn lang, yung ang inaano ko lang. Although, tama naman. I mean, they said it. I guess I just wanted parang it was an opportunity to touch on kasi parang hindi din niya kasi alam yung nangyari kung nagkaroon nga ng something so ano yun anyway
siguro I wish lang
kasi parang may kasex siya and then magsex sila, di ba? Parang ang player ni Judah sa mata ni Glenn ha.
Sa mata ni Glenn. Ang wish ko lang kasi
makapag-sex sa akin kasi meron kang standards.
Ang wish ko lang kasi is the last time we saw Glenn apart from that 3 seconds that he was in last episode was episode 1.
Oo nga.
Yes.
So wala tayo hindi mapanghawakan kung
upper context of his character.
Oo. Parang valid naman ang reaction ni Glenn eh.
Hindi, pero I don't know, hindi ko sa bagay para
like, just walk away. Okay guys, figure this out first. I don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Although kasi catalyst din yung ginawa niya. Catalyst yung ginawa niya na parang he had to make Judah choose.
Correct.
I mean, that was his character's plot device, I guess. Him as a character, as a plot device to para Judah is confronted with. Kasi the whole time, until that point, Judah was parang skirting around it, diba? Parang ini-ignore na lang niya si Rocky. He's trying to move on. So, yeah.
JC, maingay ulit yung mic mo.
Yun. Sige. Ay, nako, Glenn.
Go ahead, guys.
Hindi, may mga pinagsasasabi si Glenn pala. Naalala ko, sorry, bigla ako naalala. That whole thing na parang, ikaw na lang yung tumakbo. Kasi kapag tayo naman we will be seen as one. And I really wasn't understanding what he was saying na parang...
actually, parang they were moving too fast din naman. Glenn was moving too fast.
And parang ito naman kasi Judah, being Judah, would ask, Bakit ikaw yung binoto nila? Bakit hindi ako? in a tender, as a pillow talk, yung pinili ni Jude ang pag-usapan. Tingin nyo,
ang political career nilang dalawa.
Bakit ikaw yung binoto nila? Pero what actually Glenn answered got me, I wouldn't say shocked, but curious or disturbed na parang something about representation na parang because you haven't been in a relationship, ganyan, and they don't...
Parang kumbaga, natawa nga ako dun sa sinabi ni Jude. Parang, saan ba makukuha yung certificate na bakla nga? To prove na bakla nga ako.
Pero
kaya ba magka-boyfriend?
Ano ba yung org nila? Akala ko economics.
Diba? Economics nga.
Akala, but suddenly parang ano ba to, LGBT org ba to? And
no, I think ang point ni Glenn doon is people don't know Judah. Parang he's saying he's gay just to gain clout. Sinabi niya yun, 'di ba? To gain clout. Pero walang proof nga na gay si Judah kasi he's never had a boyfriend. I guess he hasn't dated. So parang bakit mo sinasabing gay ka? Feel ko ang sinasabi lang ni Glenn is that's how people are thinking.
Which is exactly what Judah is doing to Rocky.
True. Oo nga, no? Yeah.
Pero
in a deeper sense, no?
Oh yes, pero in a more personal sense. Kasi societal naman yung what Judah had to deal with was societal or at least yung micro society nila.
Yeah.
Pero
personal.
Tama ka nga, Carl, no? That's exactly what Judah is doing to Rocky. Parang prove to me that you're
gay or something.
Oo, yeah. Na-prove na po ni Rocky yun. Nag-ipon-ipon na
sila.
And by default, kulang pa ba yun, Judah?
That already gets you a card to a membership card.
At na-prove na rin po ni Judah sa tulong ni Rocky.
So, may certificate na po yun.
Pwede nyo na po siyang iboto.
Naka-notarize.
Meron po kaming screen caps nung binurang altar posts ni Judah.
Ipopost po namin sa sarili naming altar accounts.
Okay.
Wala kaming altar accounts. Oh my God, joke lang.
Wala kaming altar accounts.
Meron ako altar account pero ginagamit ko lang to visit Vatican stuff.
Wow.
The joke.
That's what you use.
Well, kami iba yung gamit namin sa burner accounts namin.
Yes. Rider show. Shao.
Yes, Rider Shao.
Oh my God. So
anyway, wait. Gusto ko na pag-usapan.
Doon na tayo sa last scene.
Sige. Doon na tayo sa last scene. Kasi feeling ko iiyak ako dito.
Yung mga abandonment issues ni Judah din lumabas doon. Also, yung self-worth niya is sobrang affected yung self-worth niya because of this abandonment issues. Tsaka yung feeling of not being loved. My God.
And not being enough.
Not being
enough. Iniwan siya ng mom niya.
Hindi, ang pinaka-nakakalokan line doon, why do people, parang fight for me or bakit ako pinaglalaban ng mga tao kapag when it's already too late?
When it's already too late.
Abandonment issues matindi, ang lalim.
Kasi I'm trying to imagine myself when I was that age and I would have felt the same. Meron na lang kasi talaga tayong meron na lang tayong wisdom of what happens next after that. Pero during that moment of your life, that's how you will feel it.
I'll try to go back to that nga. Sayang naman yung coping ko.
Hindi ko pa ayoko talaga. Naloka ako. Diba? Pero,
oh my God.
Parang you always...
I feel like because of that scene, yun yung hinihintay kong scene all this time, this entire series. Parang, okay, eto na yung vulnerable scene ni Judah. Parang he must feel so alone. No?
Oo.
Super alone.
And insufficient.
Yeah.
And he has actually, if you're a person dealing with all that, and he has gone through life the way he did, he was actually a strong person.
Yeah,
he is.
Totoo.
He was.
Yeah, he is a strong person. Correct.
for having dealt with it the way, if that was everything that he had to deal with and he was able to deal with those things the way he did, to be fair.
Yeah. Grabe din yung acting and the writing in that scene. Kasi in that short scene, linabas niya lahat ng baggage niya sa buhay. No?
Na hindi pilita.
Doon lang eh.
Hindi siya parang binulot
po. Baggage.
Hindi siya
while fixing his baggage. Ina-unpack din niya sabay.
Diba?
Habang pinapack niya yung baggage niya, ina-unpack din niya.
Nag-unpack siya.
Nag-unpack din siya.
Ganda. The irony, diba?
The irony in that symbolism. Oh, Judah. But there's a Judah in all of us. Just could I...
Ako sobra akong naka-relate kay Judah on that scene. In that scene, yung feeling of being insufficient. And I think it's not, yes, abandonment issues din, but not, sa kanya kasi medyo 360 yung abandonment niya, yung family, inabandon siya ng org niya nung hindi siya binoto, inabandon siya ng lola niya. So, ang daming factors.
Mom
pero,
niya.
Nang nanay
13 years
niya,
niya,
physically to go
13
to the
years or some more. Parang
diba?
ang daming
So,
years, diba?
na imagine ko yung tipong, anong kulang sa akin? Bakit hindi ako ka-mahal-mahal? Or why don't people stay?
Alam mo, yung sagot ko kay Judah talaga, mali yung what he's looking for kasi hinahanap niya sa ibang tao. Mali yun.
Pero
that's why he feels incomplete because he is looking for it outside. Ito yung sinabi ko in episode 3, yung naghanap siya ng anchor, naghanap siya ng ano.
Pero again,
doon lumabas dito sa episode na to, dapat talaga you have to be that person for yourself so you don't feel abandoned, so you don't feel insufficient. If you're enough for yourself, hindi mo yan mafe-feel sa ibang tao.
But at that age, it's something that we know now, Sid.
Yeah, true.
I'm not even sure if I know it now already.
I still feel
I still feel the
today.
insecurity. Pero at that age, talaga you need affirmation. You need reciprocate.
Validation.
And it takes a certain strength talaga to believe in that and to stay in that mindset without the validation from outside. Kasi you have to believe it. And sometimes, things happen in life that will kind of like try to break down your resolve. And that's the struggle. That's the fight that you need to do every day. And that's why it's really a continuing process. You shouldn't stop trying to find value in yourself and you alone without having to what Sid said nga na finding validation outside. But it's harder than it's
harder said than done.
Harder done.
No, baliktad.
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
Pero
easier said than done.
Alam mo kasi, it's hard. Ito I will really say this because I think it's actually harder to find validation from yourself than from the outside world.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so true.
We are so much harder to ourselves.
You're gonna be your worst critic.
And
we are our worst critics.
Super.
Yeah.
Super.
Yung mga iniisip nga natin na, what's wrong with you? Probably people don't even think that way, but it's you who... And it's a constant fight with yourself talaga.
Yeah.
I'm very, very guilty of that. True. Like you guys always remind me, JC, why are you always thinking... Pero that's your thoughts.
Alam mo, actually, JC, sa totoo lang, diba, at saka adaling sabihin sa ibang tao, kunwari sabi namin, so JC, no, you have to be open, you have to be, pero honestly, after all this, buti na nga, alam mo, it's really a gift na we're actually watching things like this together. Pero what happens later, when I turn off the computer, when I'm done editing this whole thing, and then I will lie down in bed, and reflect, and then, di ba, parang I can't even guarantee na yung mga pinagsasabi namin sa'yo, mapapractice namin
I have a question to you guys. Kasi ako, because of the pandemic sobrang na-reframe yung thoughts ko. All my concerns about myself, they feel so now. What like, does it really matter? Because of the pandemic, parang, wala nang time
Actually,
like be bothered by to listen to my inner saboteur.
Magandang ano yan, Sid, kasi alam mo, ganyan din yun yung quarantine. Ganyan din yun nangyari sa kanila. What they're going through is what they are going through. And feeling ko kasi parang this whole thing, we are now isolated again. We are somehow isolated. We can't escape, at least. And we have to deal with things. We can't.
To your point, Sid, it helps, it lessens it, but you don't get to totally escape it. Because nga, at the same time, although the pandemic is happening, you're also stuck at home with your own thoughts. So you will still have to battle it. I still struggle with it. But, of course, I mean, you just have to reframe na, oh my God, mas importanteng bagay na pagkaabalahan. Ano ka ba? Stop being so self-centered. Pero may mga, susumpungin ka. Yun na lang. Susumpungin
ka. May times. May times na susumpungin ka.
Your question was, you have more time with your thoughts.
Yun yung inaano ni JC. Ako ang sinasabi ko is, because of the pandemic, your inner saboteur, the voices you get from your inner saboteur, they don't really matter now. Kasi parang, hello, the world is in a pandemic.
That's a state. Yeah, I mean, it's kasi on one end you have that and you're part of the world and you have to be concerned. On
kasi
the other,
ano ko is, parang for me kasi, kaya ako na-escape yung inner saboteur ko. Why I'm successful sometimes of not listening to my inner saboteur is, instead of caring about my insecurities or bothering myself with my insecurities and alam mo yun, my concerns and my issues, I just
it has been dethroned.
Yeah, because
it's still there, pero dethroned lang.
It's still there, pero yung mas concerned ako about what's happening with other people kasi grabe yung nangyayari sa mundo. So hindi ko maalis talaga. My head and my heart goes out. Alam mo yun? Parang it helps me deal with my personal shit. Kasi I get to do something outside myself versus kasi wala naman tayong, for me sometimes I don't know if this is the same for others, pero when you help when you try to, ito yung messianic complex ko, pero outward. When you try to help outside, it fixes you inside. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, but
kasi parang humihina yung voice ng inner saboteur mo eh. Kasi parang because your actions are outward.
It just gets drowned out by the context of the world, I guess.
I also go back to what you said in a previous RV, said, not to say that's what's happening to you, but on the contrary, that's also avoidance. Parang because you're supposed to fix others, then I don't have to deal with my own shit.
Yeah. I think this pandemic is
sometimes
which is also good kasi you don't have to deal with it and you refocus your energy into something more productive kasi you feel na this is something I can fix.
Or are you being able to Are you being able to
kasi parang why wallow? Why should we wallow?
Tama naman. May point din dun.
Parang kasi ako tanggap ko na yung mga flaws ko and all. Yun na yun. Parang, eto na yun. So parang, I will not wallow on them. Parang, ganun, matanda na ako. Alam mo yan, I won't feel bad or small because of them. That's me. But look at the things that I can do despite all that.
Ligtad kasi. So, I mean,
parang you shouldn't feel like you are limited by your flaws. Paano sa'yo, Carl?
Like, di ba, that whole unraveling thing in the episode 8 of Another BL, do you remember that, di ba? Para naging problem ko naman with this whole pandemic is that before kasi I was able to do what you were doing now. Na parang I'd get out of the house and just be fairy godmother to whoever I can and do escape and I love doing that, meeting people and, asking them, oh, how can I help you? Ganyan, even at work, ganyan. And suddenly this pandemic happens. And then that is taken away from me. And now I'm just here. I don't feel like myself here. Ang weird, diba? I don't feel like I can be myself at home. But then, I have to confront myself at home also because I have nothing else. I'm disconnected from the world.
Yes. Yeah.
Yun yung nangyayari sa akin. So parang my means for escape has been taken away from me. So
don't you feel what we're doing now is but this is only like, connecting us to the world?
Pero pang 1 month pa lang natin ginagawa to see.
Like, kung sabihin, I guess sinasabi din ni Carl na buti nga we have this as an outlet.
And it's also
really helped us.
At saka sa akin, it's also important that for me, once you get out of this quarantine, it's also nice that you were able to settle some things about yourself because the world has given you me time, some level.
Although talaga, admittedly, yung mga sinasabi ko ngayon I'm super escapist. So parang hindi ko din alam kung tama yung sinasabi ko. Pero it has helped me through a lot. Parang siguro mamamatay na lang ako na ganito.
No, feeling ko nga that's also
There's nothing wrong with you naman, Sid, honestly.
There's nothing wrong.
Ay, nako, guys, hindi nyo lang alam.
I mean, there are a lot of things that are wrong with all of us and the three of us. But it's really a matter of like, having to embrace those flaws and having to find people who will actually deal with those.
Ako naman, diba? ang gusto ko lang na kasi ang gusto ko lang naman na what people feel is lahat tayo, we have our insecurities and these voices in our head that drag us down, that make us feel small and not worth it. What dapat mo talaga just bring it down, bring the volume down. It's there, we all have that, but bring the volume down and listen to the better things that you can do, the better things in life that you can do, or the more
it's a constant battle.
Constant pa, ganun siya. Pero if you are able to tune it right, kung tama yung mix mo ng mga boses in your head and the voices that you hear, you will get by. And, alam mo yun, ganun naman yun eh. Kasi no one is perfect. Lahat tayo may ganun.
Oo, no one.
And it's also healthy to listen to that voice once in a while. Pero you shouldn't be controlled by it or, dapat na ma-manage mo yung boses na yun.
You have to take control of your life somehow. Hirap.
If you are, it helps din naman kasi if you are aware where that voice is coming from. Si Richie Chan told me this if you know if it's from your ego or from your id, that voice that you hear. This is not about us three. Ayan, parang sometimes you have to be mahirap yun. It's a struggle talaga.
Mahirap din i-identify.
Mahirap.
Actually, I'm wondering ano yung mga sinasabi ng mga inner voices ni Judah at Rocky at that moment when they were having that conversation.
Tanong natin sila.
Kasi like for example sa akin, si Judah is finally being so vulnerable about it eh. Kasi di ba he's such a strong-willed, di ba yun yung kanyang gusto niyang project na and then he's so vulnerable and equally Rocky also you're seeing his vulnerable side na he also let his walls down pero parang hindi din pa rin sila tugma doon sa discussion na yun kasi nga ang dami nang nangyari na parang
I know.
Paano sila
I honestly don't know. Paano sila mag-align? Hindi ko alam.
Kasi
how will they fix this?
Pinunit nga niya yung quarantine pass, walang pwedeng lumabas.
I mean, that only goes to show his resolve to be like, to really try. Pero parang sa akin, kung ako si Judah, that doesn't prove anything.
Ang immature actually nun eh.
I'm still not sure about you. So, I mean...
Immature talaga yun. They're like, 21? Can you imagine going through that at 21? My God, that you're
alam mo, ang sasabihin ko din doon, ang hindi natakal sa episode na to kasi may COVID scare nga si di ba si Judah, hindi niya alam kung positive siya or not.
Actually.
And then inuuna pa ni Rocky yung feelings niya but the health of Judah is on the line
Ay, alam mo, yun din yung
na medyo na-downplay in this episode, but it's there.
So, pero yun din yung kinaloka kung...
This is kind of very selfish.
Yun din yung kinaloka kung si Glenn.
Pumunta si Glenn.
Hindi lang pumunta eh. Hindi kailangan magpa-rapid test kit. Nag-aaya ng...
Yeah.
Girl. Meron silang COVID scare. Uunahin na nandi. Diretso.
Hindi ko ma-justify. So, may way ba to do it na walang mahahawa? Parang
diretso
wala.
Yung...
Pero, magmamask ka lang. Tapos, dyan lang siya sa baba.
Di siya kamas eh. Pero yun nga, sa akin din, parang...
Because the anxiety from COVID is real. I've had friends who have had a major anxiety attack from a COVID scare. Like, lahat naman tayo nakakarinig ng ganong stories. We know people na ganon. So parang, bakit siya na-downplay? Yun yung question ko eh. Parang, that's serious ha? Having you don't know kung kung positive ka or not. Yun yung hindi ko alam kung bakit hindi nila natakal sa episode na to.
Pero alam mo, aminin ko sa'yo.
Being lovesick is just as bad. Charot.
Hindi, aaminin ko sa'yo, at that age, I would have been the same. I will dwell in my drama.
Well, that's true then. That's true. Pero, ano yun?
Pero, para outside looking in, para, girls, priorities.
Health first.
Ano to?
Health first.
Pero ganun eh.
Walang
be responsible.
Sa inyong matitegi, hindi, wag lang magkakatuluyan.
Pero talaga naman, alam naman natin.
COVID is real. COVID is real.
Pero yun sa akin din, inaantay ko din from Rocky. Pero sinasabi niya, parang, sana mas proactive din. I mean, not to say na, tama naman, pero parang, na-imagine ko kasi, ano bang kailangan kong gawin para to prove myself? I don't know if that was needed, pero in my head, I don't know if that would have convinced Judah din kasi, pero wala.
Feeling ko in episode 8, that's when Rocky will prove himself.
Oo, kasi ang daling sabihin, mahal din kita, pero parang, bigyan mo ako ng panghahawakan.
Alam mo, honestly ito yung gusto ko itanong bago space. Kasi
we have 6 minutes left.
Oh my God, tatlong Zoom. This is like record-breaking.
Yes. Babalik tayo dito. Pero ang gusto kong itanong ay nakalimutan ko yung gusto ko.
My God. Ano? Should I buy a vowel? Ano
nga ba yun?
Magsha-charades ba tayo?
Nakalimutan ko siya!
Is it a song? 2 syllables? No.
Hindi ko yung matandaan. Babalik yun.
Oh my God. This episode.
Sobra akong na-trigger dun. Kasi parang, ako naman, parang, remember yung ex ko na bumalik, yung sinasabi niya, may sinabi din si Judah, mahal mo ako kasi kailangan mo ako. May binitawan siyang ganun eh. Mahal mo ba ako dahil mahal mo ako or dahil kailangan mo ako? Ganda
si Beshi din naman kasi kung ano yung mga pinagsasasabi kay Judah na in the end, in-empower niya rin sino ba talaga? Beshi! Ikaw naman yung kausap ko ngayon. Sino ba talaga
yung... correct naman yung sagot ni Beshi.
Pero, di ba siya rin yung nag-feed kay Judah na parang, kaya ka lang inaano niya kasi kailangan ka lang niya. Tapos,
tama ka naman.
Correct.
Makausap na niya si Rocky, but ayoko naman talaga si Glenn, ganyan. Pero nung una,
Beshi kasi nagbibigay ng advice na hindi niya alam lahat ng buong storya, di ba?
Wala siyang context eh.
Or pa iba. Hindi siya consistent.
Baka kasi nakita niya na si Judah, si Rocky in person na parang,
ang gwapo. Ang gwapo. Fight mo yan, girl.
Fight mo yan, girl.
Diba, yung first conversation, parang go for Glenn. Tapos, after nun, yung before Judah and Rocky did it, baka naman hindi talaga.
I think he was challenging lang Rocky na if you really like him, you have to prove yourself. I mean, yun naman yung takeaway ko.
Tama din naman yung advice ni Beshi kay Rocky.
He was just being more provocative. Na parang, talaga, gusto mo, type mo din siya, fight for him.
Nakakatawa lang si Beshi. Si Beshi kumanta ng San Sinukuban.
Siya yung nag-plant ng seed na parang baka ginagamit ka lang yan. Kasi kailangan niya.
Hindi ko siya aawayan kasi ang ganda ng boses niya. Fine.
Hindi natin aawayin
But
si
then again,
Beshi.
Beshi was just watching out for Judah.
The friend, yeah.
At the end of the
For the
day.
Beshi.
At oh my God, sabay pa tayo. At the end of the day,
End
he
of
was
the
just
day.
watching out for his Beshi.
That's Beshi. Meron pa ba tayong kailangan i-unpack?
Meron akong question na hindi ko matandaan, naluloka ako.
Ano?
O di, abangan na lang sa start ng RV ng episode 8. Hindi ko alam. Feeling ko mag-unpack pa rin tayo sa before the finale.
Hindi ganito,
Like
mag-final words na tayo. Tapos kung maalala mo before the time's up, then we can talk about it. Pero,
we can zoom again.
Yeah. Pero
go,
grabe,
final words.
Sobrang hitik na
so,
hitik episode na. Ako,
a message to one of the characters that you, ganun ulit.
Nako, oo.
Ako naramdaman kita, Judah. I feel you, the feeling of being insufficient and not enough. And I feel na parang sometimes it's such a struggle to stay strong. And I commend you for being strong na as long as you were able to sustain it. But syempre mahirap talaga. And sometimes it's okay to be vulnerable kasi it also helps you process your feelings. And also parang gives focus on parang what you need to tackle when it comes to your personal turmoil. Ngayon, di ko talaga alam kung sinong dapat mong piliin. Ako feeling ko, don't make any rash decisions. Now is not the time to decide. Pero, yun. Hindi ko masabi na bigyan niya ng chance si Rocky kasi hindi din ako sigurado kay Rocky. Kung ako yun din, I wouldn't.
Ako,
kahit ganun ka-hot si Rocky. Siguro magsisex na lang kami, tapos after that, di ko
Nag-sex na nga sila?
Ayun, ulitin. Coupon. Avail ka na lang ng coupon.
Ay. Ako parang, Judah just, gets ko na si Judah, just, if you're feeling that, vulnerable and hurt and abandoned and all your issues, now's not the time to get it outside from other people. Just focus on yourself. Even if Rocky is somehow proves himself, feeling ko that he is not the answer to what you're looking for. It's
correct.
What you are looking for is not from someone else. It's something you have to answer and be for yourself. Yun talaga.
Actually, Sid, to add to your, that's why it's also very clear why he's looking for security. Diba?
Ito rin
yun nga sinabi ko before.
Going with how things are going. Do you think this will be the ending? This will be a popular ending? I can't say na happy ending eh.
Alam mo, feeling ko, knowing how each episode ends, it's gonna be an open-ended siya.
Kasi a popular ending is different from the right or a happy ending. Because ito naman yung bibigay kong message kay Judah. You don't have to choose. Given what, lahat ng mga nalaman mo about yourself, actually, first and foremost, about yourself, about Lolly, about the truth about Glenn, or how Glenn's doing things, or what Rocky is also going through his own journey.
You don't have to decide now.
Or you don't have to decide. You don't have to choose at all. You can choose yourself and not be with anyone. And that, I think, is the unpopular choice. Madaming, may magrarally.
It's the healthier choice, ha? It's the healthier choice.
Pero I have a feeling that's how it's gonna end.
Hindi ko nga alam
feeling ko din.
Hindi ko alam kung happy ending or...
Knowing how brave sina Direk and sina Ken and everyone else are, I think it's gonna be a very...
Correct.
It's not gonna be popular, but it's gonna be right.
Yeah.
Yung going with how this whole thing is going, are you expecting a popular ending? Meaning, tingin nyo ba ang tamang ending ba dito?
Ako hindi.
Yung conventional happy ending wherein Rocky ends up with Judah? Or...
Ang feeling ko mangyayari, they will figure out their personal shit and then open-ended siya.
Ako din. Ako, feeling ko may realize nila, I think as much as I want this to happen, si Rocky, you have a point. Tapos si Judah, although mahal din naman kita kahit papano, parang baka now is not the time to get into a relationship. Baka we need more time to figure ourselves out.
Seg 2 season 2.
Tapos biglang may something.
Tapos may
it'll lead us to that. Tapos biglang may twist sa end na itatapon ko na yung computer table ko dito.
Ang laki niya na.
Mag-chill na ako talaga. I won't make the same mistake. I'm going to chill like 2 bottles of wine next week.
Okay.
Ngayon kasi wala ako chill, so I'm drinking like red wine na. Masarap naman, pero mas masarap siya kung medyo... kasi nasa Pilipinas kami, so room temperature wine is like iba ang room temperature dito. Oo, diba? So, yung, just to continue yung message ko kay Judah, are you really sure that, parang, I want to tell you that you don't have to choose.
Agree naman ako dun.
Anyone.
Choose yourself.
For now.
For now. Not Lolly, not Glenn, not even Mommy.
Choose yourself, di ba?
Kasi naiintindihan ko siya. I can still go back to, like, yun naman yung, bilang, I can't call myself a writer because I haven't been writing. Creative writing. I haven't been doing creative writing in a while. Pero you are born with an artist's heart, di ba? So I really do. Parang yung naman nun is parang you can always parang draw things from, kasi that's what you do sa craft mo, even in advertising, di ba? Gagawa ka na 30-seconder na kailangan mo ibenta to. So paano, ano ba yung, so lagi kong nahuhukay pa rin. And nahuhukay ko talaga yung feelings what somebody at that age might be feeling right now. And I just really know na parang it's really tempting for him to actually get lost in the drama. Unahin niya yung drama. There's this opportunity for him to actually explore love and stuff like that. But also, yung dichotomy nun is, I know how it feels, but I also have the foresight of having lived after that I'm not so sure, Judah, if now is actually the right time to give yourself a new issue to or a new baggage to unpack. Because you have just actually opened one maleta.
Yeah.
And time.
And these two characters you can't both be unpacking baggages in a relationship together.
Of that magnitude. Because
of that magnitude,
diba?
Recipe for disaster.
Both of them are still trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
They're not trying to improve on themselves.
Hindi po kakasya sa Airbnb nyo yung baggage na dala nyo at kailangan i-unpack.
Hindi kasya sa unit ni Mrs. Cancio.
Hindi kasya sa unit ni Mrs. Cancio.
Hindi po.
Pero hindi ko alam.
Wala bang annex yan?
Hindi. Ako tama yan. Actually, I go back to what Sid said earlier. Na parang may sinabi ka, Sid, about choose yourself muna. And kasi tingnan mo, like yung sinasabi ni Sid kanina na hindi tama yung you're finding validation from outside. Parang bakit kailangan ng ibang tao para ma-feel mo na kamahal-mahal ka?
Yeah.
Diba? From the start pa lang sabi niya parang he doesn't agree with diba? Parang there was already also a thing na parang they will try to fix each other and Sid doesn't really agree with that. I mean, doesn't think that it's a good idea of them fixing each other.
Natatakot ako sa finale.
Conflict.
Alam mo, after the scare that I had to go through for this episode, and what it actually parang gave me, hindi ko na alam. I mean, nakakatakot.
Nakakarupok, no? Nakakarupok yung episode. Feeling ko even after our, I don't know how many hours of unpacking, I'll be thinking about stuff. But
yeah. With that whole dying in Paris alone to figuring... Actually,
guys, kasi even, that's a possible...
It's really a deep fear of gay men eh.
Yes.
Even our fear. I mean, who wants to...
Bakla ka, JC.
I know. Kaya nga, ibig ko sabihin, di ba? Parang for someone who just came out late in the game, but that's not the case. Even for us who've
been out,
that's still a concern, to end up alone.
Yep.
I think it's a human. Wag niyo akong all lives matter, pero I mean, I think it's a human concern.
It is. No one wants to end up alone. Parang sana...
Special lang yung circumstance natin. Especially circumstance natin because we're going against the tide.
Also, especially here in the Philippines where gay marriage is not allowed.
Dami, di ba?
Do you think kapag
guys?
Di ba parang there's the thing na parang gays are so, parang they jump from one bed to another, masyadong flighty, and parang the whole hookup culture. This is my theory, That's because we're not being allowed to actually get married.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah.
Inisip ko yan, Carl. Kasi like the straights, they have a path. Parang, okay, itong steps. Tayo, wala tayong ganun.
At saka I'm going to commit to this. By law, I'm committing.
Oo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kaya din may commitment issues mga well, not to say
we're not allowed to commit.
Exclusive lang to gay people yun. Pero mas pronounced siya because nga you don't have that safety net. I mean, I use that loosely, but
at least you're not.
It helps for you to kasi to Sid's point also, and he raised this in previous RVs. It's so easier for guys to be more what they call this
flighty. What?
It starts with the letter P, not promiscuous.
Promiscuous.
I wanna buy an H.
Prolific kasi parang lalaki tayo We have all the excuse to act on just like all flings and everything because we're guys. Pero if you have something like, for example, that not naman forces you, but kumbaga helps you commit.
Guides you
And guides you to commit.
At least lays down a path for you, diba?
It's easier.
Or the world is expecting you. Or hindi naman expecting. But you don't bow down to the world's expectations.
Which is now what the law doesn't see. Kasi parang, for them, it's parang kumbaga, you're giving them, pero actually, it actually gives yung mga perception you about gays na negative by actually implementing laws that allow them to
do the right thing.
It helps steer them away from what you perceive to be negative behavior. Only because you don't have a path laid down for us. I mean,
alam mo, Sid, I just want to tell you this. Because you're very active, diba? Nakakatawa nga Nakakatawa. You're very active with all the...
Please expand.
Active with the gay rights and all these things. Because I remember a time when, parang, nakakatawa nga. Because I was, before pa, I was actually given the opportunity, parang when ang ladlad was constantly trying to buy a seat in the Senate, and they would, kasi kilala ko nag-teacher ko sila dati, sila J. Neil, diba? So, and they would ask me, we're going to file for candidacy, so we need support. Can you just go with us to Comelec and we will march? Or parang when they were actually asking for campaign contributions. I'm not even sure if I should be saying this in an RV, wherein ang platform nga natin is kasi parang we're trying to empower. Pero the thing
I will back you up on this kasi we're the same. Sige, mauna ka.
I didn't give the support that I would have been able to give. I didn't go to the filing ng candidacy.
I understand. Lately lang ako, Carl. Lately lang ako.
I was so young, but feel ko kasi I was so caught up na parang things were happening naman for me. I was in advertising and upwardly mobile and everything. I wasn't being bullied. I wasn't in a relationship. I didn't feel the need to actually have... And actually parang seeing you, parang actually just...
What year was this, Carl? I just wanna know.
Guilty ako.
Anong year siya? Do you remember?
Early 2000s.
Kailan ba sila last na tumakbo? Siguro
hindi ko maalala.
Pero around that time.
Ako naman, Carl, I have the same sentiment. Pero it was more because even when I came out, I didn't feel that I belonged to the gay community because I also felt like an outsider. So parang hindi din ako hindi ako as much invested because I felt alienated also by the community. But when I came out, I was expecting na parang baka that's the first step na now that I'm out, I would feel like I belong, but actually I also didn't. For the longest time, I didn't feel like I belong. Ganito yung pinag-usapan natin, Sid, kasi nga nung nag-out ako, there was a certain culture na parang, hindi din ako belong. So parang, I was in limbo for the longest time. So parang, for me to support it, I advocated for it in my own way, pero for me, because nga I didn't feel all the issues, because nga it didn't apply to me, and because nga I didn't feel welcomed. Parang what am I supporting? I have no idea. So parang I was just in limbo.
You know, sa mga...
For a time, umalis din ako sa community. Ang laki ng tampo ko sa community. I'll not get into the details here, pero my God.
You don't have to.
Nung ibang ano yun.
Pero kasi ako, Sid, yung akin kasi it was really selfishness because I was...
No, it all boils down to
I think it's important, Carl. It's actually important to talk about it.
Pero
kasi ako, admittedly, matagal din ako to be active with... Ngayon lang talaga. Last year I wasn't. I was too caught up with my life. Ganun naman eh. Parang...
Pero hindi ko yung kay Carl kasi it goes back to when... You remember when we were talking about in Ben X Gym? Na you were trying to pass. You were trying to not ruffle feathers. You were trying to be acceptable. So...
And I felt
safe.
And I felt neutral kasi. Kaya there was kasi parang I also remember, di ba? Kasi nga parang I remember my friend who's a reporter. Hindi ko na siya ininame, huwag na natin idamay. Pero she contacted me one night, parang kasi there was a time I would drink with the reporters of ABS. So sabi niya parang I need to interview you. Like, what about? Because I need parang to interview somebody about discrimination in the workplace or something. Regarding what? About being gay and stuff like that. The answer ko talaga, I don't get discriminated. I don't feel that I don't get those things. So parang I really can't contribute to that. And I really felt that when I answered that sa kanya.
Yeah.
Pero for me, that was, looking back, I would have actually...
That was an opportunity, no?
Yeah. Do you feel privileged?
But I was young. But I was also young. Yes, I think this is me admitting that to some level.
Yeah.
I really, felt my oaths. Parang the privilege.
Kasi you didn't go through the whole shit that other people, the other gay
yes.
people...
Yes.
Totoo naman yun. Aaminin ko naman yun.
I mean,
when you hear the stories of trans women, non-binary, doon ako natatamaan talaga. Doon ako natatamaan. Kasi, honestly, with yung gay men, homosexual men, gets ko, we have our struggles talaga. Pero ang laki din ng tampo ko sa gay community. Kasi, the gay community, especially in the Philippines, can be toxic and can
mean
be...
Girls sila ang mean girls. You can't sit with us.
Oo, maraming ganun sa community natin.
Call a spade a spade.
I think it's slowly changing. Pero when I hear the stories of other members of the spectrum, dun talaga ako natatamaan.
But it's never too late to try to understand.
I want to fight for them. Sila yung
Next level na eh. Kasi yung mga traditional, and I'm using terms loosely. I'm not trying to be politically correct, but I'm just yung traditional gay guys nga medyo may hurdle pa. I can just imagine yung hurdle nung mga bagong na-introduce sa spectrum na parang people are just starting to wrap their heads around the concept of there are certain aspects to sexuality that are not yet as well defined for them. I can understand the struggle, and I also, my heart goes out to them as well.
Kasi totoo di ba, even the three of us, parang said, you're trying to explore, suddenly brought up about, parang
di ko lang kung serious yun, we don't know.
Kasi ako naman, on my end, bigla ako naisip, ano nga ba talaga ako?
Yeah.
Which is,
I get
yan,
you, Carl.
At ang ganda ng question yan kasi babalik tayo. Kaya yung
Kay Rocky.
Yung kaninang kine-question
Kay
mo
Rocky.
Alam mo, feeling ko alam mo, hindi, pero kaya ako that's why I feel for Rocky.
Hindi. Tama naman. I mean, tama din naman. Na you feel for Rocky. Pero, I think yung sinasabi
lang. Kasi like, for example,
if I... maging bakla si Rocky, ang point niya dun is, figure yourself out first.
Yeah, pero kasi, kunwari, coming from that point of view, I think it's enough that I'm burying myself right now. Like alam mo naman that I'm having financial problems. I've had to take care of my you know, for you to actually to tell me na gusto mo ko, you understand me to some level. And for me, you know that it takes so much for me to tell you that I like you. And you're telling me that's not enough.
Yeah.
You're asking so much more. After that, in fact,
I don't think that's more.
It's kasi for me, it should have
alam
been
mo,
enough.
Gets ko, JC, kumbaga, Rocky is giving all that he could at that point where he is.
Oo.
Yun lang yung kaya niya. So, ang hinahanap ni Judah, hindi pa...
Introspection.
Wala pa yun kay Rocky.
Yes. Kaya ako siya naiintindihan ni...
Kasi kung first time nang reveal sa isa't isa na ganun, gets ko pa eh. Pero injured na si Judah eh.
Sino ba yung nagsimula ng buong game na to?
Siya.
Si Judah, di ba?
Pero Rocky acted on it. Tapos,
yes. And he's owning up by saying, gusto kita.
Oh, JC, alam mo, nagigets ko na si Carl eh. Nagigets ko na si Carl nung sinabi niya na who started all this. Judah started it knowing na Rocky was straight.
Straight. Yeah.
So, dapat alam niya yung pinasok niya or whatever he started. And then ngayon, biglang figure yourself out first. Hello. Pressure naman.
From coming from that, straight. Or sa tingin niya, or at least sa tingin niya Rocky straight siya. That happened. Coming from that, this previously straight person is telling you, gusto kita.
Correct.
Tapos which is already a lot.
Also, JC, that is the purest already, ha?
Tapos sasabihin
huwag pala natin kalimutan yung isang scene na feeling ko crucial din. Yung sabi niya, miss na kita. Di ba may isang moment na sinabi nila na miss na kita?
Gusto siya ni Rocky. Hindi ko alam kung ano pa yung, as a human being, even if like, parang...
Hindi, kumbaga Carl, ganito yan. Hindi sila, they're really not on the same page.
Yes.
Kasi kung okay si Judah, tapos sinabi ni Rocky yun sa kanya, okay, game. I will let's do this. Pero hindi nga okay si Judah.
Kasi security na hinahanap niya.
Dami niyang shit.
Yes, I know we're trying to understand Judah, but how about Rocky?
I also understand Rocky. Kaya nga I'm saying, now is not the right time to decide on whether they should be together or not. Because obviously, they have a lot of issues that they need to settle with themselves.
Meron tayong mga sinabi kay Judah. Diba? Before we end this,
sabihin natin, si Rocky naman ang
message to Rocky?
Oo. Sige,
Rocky, ang sarap mo.
Given na yun.
Una pala, I will address the actors.
Rocky, akin ka na lang. Ganon.
Ang galing nyo dito sa episode na to.
Ang galing-galing nyo, yes. Galing nyo.
Even Glenn was...
Yeah,
yes.
Glenn.
Yeah.
Fairness.
Oh my God.
And Gina Pareño, my God.
Loli.
Yung puso ko.
Even the lolo na walang actor, na-imagine ko yung lolo eh.
Yung message mo kay Rocky, Sid.
Oo.
Message ko kay Rocky. Well, ang brave mo that you finally... Kasi it's a journey of self-acceptance. Kasi the fact that he accepted his feelings for Judah meant he accepted himself, a part of himself. So that's a huge step. And then, malaki yung puso ni Rocky, the character of Rocky. Malaki yung puso niya talaga. To be able to have that space of accepting himself and have enough space to say na gusto niya si Judah and actually want to do it and want to prove it to him.
Ready na ako. That's what he said.
Oo, ready na ako. That takes a lot. Malaki yung puso ni Rocky. So, naniniwala talaga ako na mahal niya talaga si Judah. And this takes me back to what I said in episode 7. I really feel like Rocky deserves better than Judah. Although, naiintindihan ko si Judah as a character. Pero Judah is not yet ready for the kind of love that Rocky can give.
Ikaw, JC.
Ako, Rocky, congratulations for making the first step, for taking the first step into self-acceptance. That's part of it. Recognizing the feelings that you have and starting to open yourself to the possibility na maybe you are. But although at this point, sabi mo nga, hindi ka pa sigurado. Pero if you do decide to go down this path, I wish you luck.
Maraming hahabol sa'yo. Ingat ka.
Oo. This is not the hardest part yet. Actually, marami ka pang kailangan i-navigate.
Good luck, Judah, kung maging kayo ni Rocky. Maraming aaligid.
ito nga yung sinasabi ko, Sid, kanina, na parang dahil nga contained sila, pero pag na-expose na sila, tas sa hotness ni Rocky at ngayon na alam na nilang he's gay. Alam mo naman yung mga bakla, mga piranha yan.
Sa kanilang dalawa, ang papatulang ko si Judah, ha?
Nakaharot dyan. So, good luck.
Ako both.
Good luck. Stay strong. At yun lang.
Stay hot. Keep wearing those shorts.
This is just the first step. It's gonna be a tumultuous path.
And very fun.
And I hope you're ready. It's gonna be fun. It's also gonna be painful. It's gonna be confusing. It's gonna be everything. So I hope handa ka. Yun lang.
Well, una, I would have to say first, sa kanilang dalawa talagang ang type ko si Judah. Unpopular opinion. But anyway, ang message ko kay Rocky, you've had to, I do understand because parang all these things that are like actually holding you back have been actually released from you because little by little you're getting support from your family. Nagigets ko naman yung mga subtle hints na yun eh. First from the sister and you've had to, first from that text, from the text message with the mom, diba?
Yeah.
And then the sister, and then those two conversations with the father. So it's really, clearly it's really a personal journey. Struggle and journey. And now that you're free to find your happiness, it doesn't mean that the happiness that you will find is the one that's immediately available to you. So basically, pareho ko ng message sa inyong dalawa ni Rocky and you can actually end up being together. But only
sa inang dalawa ni Judah.
Ay, sa kanilang dalawa ni Judah. Why do you always interchange them, no? Pero it doesn't necessarily... That can happen, pero sana it's not because out of necessity lang. Kasi nga kayo yung magkaharap. And because of all the quarantine. Yeah, it's a slippery slope. Pero, although, ito rin naman sasabihin ko. Quarantine, pandemic, kulong. Sa akin, okay lang naman din if you want to seize the moment and just revel in
it. Honestly, matagal pa yung moment na to. So, seize it.
Kaya nga, hindi ko to me, di ba? Para akong baliw na dalawang sinasabi ko eh. Dalawang sinasabi ko. Essentially, dalawang sinasabi ko, di ba? Parang this is not the right decision for the two of you. Talaga, it's not the right one. Pero if you're going to think about the circumstances that you're trapped together, there's actually lahat naman ng klaseng uncertainty mahahanap mo. Uncertainty na pagkatapos pa ng lahat ng to, gusto pa rin natin ng isa't isa. Kailan matatapos lahat ng to? May matatapos pa ba lahat ng to? But what we have right here, right now is this.
Yes.
I would also not mind if you revel in it.
Yeah, enjoy the ride while it lasts.
Or just give in.
Wait. Gusto pumasok sa Zoom ni Revel. Narinig niya yung name niya.
Revel, yes.
Revel Carrion himself. Pero
Revel Alcantara Carrion.
So, yun nga. So, kung gusto niyo talaga pakawala and play house, hindi ko rin kayo sisisihin because you have that opportunity. Wag lang kayo magpatayan.
Actually, both
Although,
are
alam mo,
good advice.
delikado.
Ang hirap,
Actually,
diba?
thinking about it, kasi kung if there'll be quarantine together, essentially be lived in. Mahirap yan. Kung ganun karaming baggage, personal baggage, and then you get into a relationship, and then you're in one space.
That will fast-track their decision on whether to stay together.
And their maturity and
No, but it
growth.
won't help them kasi in a relationship, you need space.
Pero kasi anong choice sila right now?
Yun nga. Kaya
they're gonna be forced to
talaga
confront what they... Diba? It fast-tracks everything lang.
Kaya nga sabi ko sa'yo, weird yung sinasabi ko Para ako si Beshi
Hindi siya
na
weird,
parang...
Carl. To be fair, kasi valid yung both sides Pwedeng give up ka na now because you're being, what we call this, pragmatic. Pero at the same time, if you just go with your feelings, ride it. Ride it until it's time to get off. Enjoy the ride.
Ito.
Ride
or die.
Ride or die. Ride or die.
Literally kasi may pandemic.
Yes.
Rocky and to Judah.
Direct gusto niyo na uni namin sa pangalan ng production.
Oo.
Ride or die. It's up to you.
And with that, this has been
And with
the
that,
PL Bros.
I think that's a good ending.
This is the PL Bros. Signing off, and we'll see you in the finale.
Yes.
My God!
Isang episode na lang, guys.
Kapit.
Feeling ko kailangan ng season 2.
Oo, feeling ko may season 2.
Please.